Hi there, Constitution Study Television here on YouTube and other video platforms, probably in the future. Welcome to this particular episode. My name is Douglas V. Gibbs, douglasvgibbs.com, politicalpistachio.com, and yesterday was Independence Day in 2019, and someone asked me about the independence of the states, and we tend to get fouled up. First of all, people say 4th of July, happy 4th of July. Well, I'd rather say happy Independence Day because that's really what it's all about, first of all. Second of all, what is the independence? What does it mean? Now, we all know, or at least most of us know, I've seen the videos of people asked who we want our independence from, and I remember a Mark Dice video, and the top two answers were Mexico and China. But we won our independence from Great Britain, the British Empire. We had been, and when I say we, the United States of America, the colonies, had been colonies under the iron thumb or the iron fist of the monarchy from the British Empire. And the British Empire controlled the colonies. They took tax money from the colonies, so on and so forth. And they were being treated as if they were second citizens. They believed that they were British subjects. They believed that they were to be treated no differently than any other British subject, yet they felt like they were being treated differently. They were being singled out. They were being taxed without the representation. In other words, they didn't have members of the parliament helping make the decisions. Of course, the response was, well, you have virtual representation. And there was a number of other things. So ultimately, what happened was the colonies decided they needed to declare independence. So a war was fought, and the colonies won their independence. They became the United States of America. Now, when they won their independence, did they win their independence as America or as states? See, each of them have their own personality. They're each different. This was the independence of all the states, but individual states with individual personalities, individual cultures, individual necessities, and so on and so forth. And then they realized, though, they needed to be together as a union, so it's the United States. And as states, each state wanted what was best for their state. And the Americans didn't necessarily call themselves Americans. They were Virginians, Pennsylvanians, New Yorkers, so on and so forth. In other words, they were 13 little countries who would rather be their own little country on their own, but because they understood the necessity that, they lived in a world of war and conquerors and so on and so forth, they needed to be together for strength, for support. United States of America. And when doing this, when writing the U.S. Constitution, the framers of the Constitution developed this idea of a dual constituency. The best check, or one of the best checks against democracy, because remember, democracy is mob rule, it's dangerous. The best check against democracy is for the states to also have a voice, to be a check against the voice of the people, and the voice of the people be a check against the states. So they work together, like two parents that are, the opposites attract for a reason. They're different. So the people were given the House of Representatives, in which population played a part in how many representatives each state had, which became a check and balance in its own right, because if a state was treating the citizens wrongly and they voted with their feet and they left, it could penalize the state by it losing representatives in the House. So it was also another check that's in place. The states, however, because they were trying to protect the voice of the minority state, in other words, every state should have their own voice and not be controlled by heavily populated states, it was 2 per state. The states appointed the senators. That was a part of the voice of the states. With the 17th Amendment, that was eliminated. Why? Because the independence of the states are being compromised by an anti-constitutional movement out there that's been going on since Alexander Hamilton. But that's not the only voice gone. Repeal of the 17th Amendment is at the top of my constitutional wish list. But what about the 16th Amendment? The states used to have a say in the budget. The complaint was, well, they don't always, or they're not always willing to pay the budget. Well, yeah, because the states, if they feel something was unconstitutional or wasn't good for their state, because remember, the idea here is to protect the sovereignty of the states. So income tax got changed. Rather than the states paying the federal government and having a say in it, their say was removed and the income tax went directly to the people. Electoral college is another one where the states are represented. We're trying to get rid of that. In other words, we're trying to undo our own independence. We just celebrated Independence Day, and slowly over the last 240 plus years, we've been dismantling what makes us independent. Independent states. Independent states with a say in the Union. Independent states that have a voice in how the Union is run and what laws are made. And the voice of the states is being diminished because the Democrats, the anti-constitutionalists, the Marxists, and anybody else you want to put out there wants to make us a democracy. Democracies are dangerous. They always have been. And the states were our last guard against democracy. And the states are being silenced. So when we talk about Independence Day and we talk about the independence of the United States, let's remember, it's not just independence from Britain in the sense of that we're free from their control, but that each state was given their independence. Each state was an independent entity and then voluntarily joined the Union for the purpose of necessity, strength, and so on and so forth. Remember, the states are the parents over the federal government. They created the federal government to serve the states and to serve the people, not rule over them. If we wanted someone to rule over us, we would have never declared independence, and we would still be British. Thanks for watching. I am Douglas V. Gibbs, douglasvgibbs.com, politicalpistachio.com. Check out my books, United We Stand, Combined We Kick Butt, and always remember, stay safe, stay patriotic, and stay constitutional. We'll see you next time.